Some say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a book full of pictures could leave some speechless. Mahanoy Area Revisited is that book. The 5 authors gathered Friday night for a book signing at the Mahanoy City Elks. Mary Lou Henniger is the vice president of the society and one of those 5 authors.
And I think we did this because we all as a group feel a very strong heritage to this community, and it's the community of our youth, and good things happened here in this community, and we really wanted to honor our parents, our grandparents, all the people that came before us.
The 6 chapter titles of the book are unique, according to Henniger.
The chapters are all named after songs, and I think within those chapters we cover the music of the era, certainly with the wars. There's a wonderful war chapter. One chapter is called East Side, West Side, which covers the town. I think that anyone who purchases this book will find something they remember.
The book only covers the second 50 years of the borough.
We've done 2 Mahanoy Area Historical Society books, one from 1863, when we began, and until 1913, which was the first 50 years. This book covers from 1913 to 1963, the next 50 years. And the process was a lengthy one. We've talked about doing a book for a couple of years since we did the first one. But I think it was Elaine who thought we should do it for our 150th anniversary. And as we started, we only had 1 or 2 people who were willing to author, and we didn't have chapters or ideas from the beginning, so we just laid it out very simply, like town, sports, the war.
Paul Coombs is the secretary and room manager of the society. He also is one of the authors. He focused his chapter on sports in the small coal mining town.
I found out a lot about sports in Mahanoy City that I didn't know, despite the fact that I've been connected with town one way or the other my whole life. We've had Major League Baseball players here. We've had general managers of pro basketball teams. We've had boys that went on from our high schools to play in major bowl games. And we've had state champions, and it was fun researching all of that.
Mahanoy City was home to Joe Dungan, who played for the Yankees from 1917 to 1931. Joe Boyle played for the Philadelphia Athletics from 1927 to 1929. And Jack Quinn also played for the Philadelphia Athletics. He started his career in 1909 as a pitcher. He played with fellow native Joe Boyle in the 1929 World Series. Quinn is still the oldest pitcher ever to hit a major league homer at the age of 46. Elaine MacLucius was the biggest driving force behind doing a second book.
We did have a lot of preliminary work done. We went through boxes that we had, and we thought we were going to find a treasure trove of pictures, but we did not. We had to scour and ask for pictures from the community. There are about 67 individuals or organizations that provided the 240 photos that we received. But it was a work of love, and we did have deadlines.
Alvin Luches was the author behind Over There, the chapter that focused on the wars.
Well, what we did was we researched what citizens of Mahanoy City contributed to the First World War, to the Second World War, and to the Korean War. And the problem that we had was there were so many participants, especially in World War I and World War II. It was unfortunate that we couldn't cover everyone, and that was the sad part about it, because the sacrifices that these individuals made, men and women, were so great across the board.
I asked every author if they had a favorite photo or story from the book.
Well, one of the things I think that was the most interesting was, for all of us, we learned so much about our history, and just the discovery of the history of the area kept us on our toes and entertained us. We had a lot of really good times reminiscing about our youth here. One photo, no, I think the whole book is just a great conglomeration of our history.
One of my favorites is in an old bar room in Mahanoy City, which typically, in a neighborhood, here were the men with their violin, their accordion, their washboard, sitting around singing songs, a lot of it in their native tongue. So a simple picture, but something that really meant a lot to me.
Favorite story actually belongs in the war chapter. There was a young high school student by the name of Jerome Semitovich, and he belonged to the Mahanoy City Air Corps. It was a group of model airplane buffs, and they used to fly their planes at the West End Stadium. After high school, Jerome enlisted in the Air Force and ended up at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii on December 7th, 1941, and he was killed in the air raid on Pearl Harbor. So I thought it was kind of poignant that he started his interest in airplanes in Mahanoy City and ended up in Hawaii and ended up being the first casualty.
So doing the chapter on churches and schools and delving into the history of my own parish, St. Joe's, and seeing that Lithuanian community was something that really was dear to me.
Sergeant Messerschmitt, he was with the 3rd Division. The 3rd Division has a history of having a lot of people from the coal regions in it. It was involved in the North Africa campaign. It was involved in the Sicily campaign. It was involved in France. Messerschmitt joined the outfit in Italy in 1943 and single-handedly fought a battle with a large German force and eventually was killed, and he received the Medal of Honor.
The book can be ordered by heading to the Historical Society's website at mahanoyhistory.org. In Mahanoy City, for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.